Going into that mandala wheel and Gemini. So Gemini season is going to have us in the throat center an awful lot. You're almost going to spend the entire season in that area. So right there in your human design body graph. And again, that's the center of your communication, your expression, your manifestation, and how we metabolize energy. But it's also really interesting because when you look at all the different gates within that throat center, and a gate is one of the numbers. Just to clarify in the air element, if you're looking at your chart, all of those numbers are considered a gate. All of the gates that are residing in your throat center actually hold all the vibrations to all the languages that have ever been spoken. But yet, when we look out into the world, language has become a huge barrier. And if you even drop into yourself, and let's say you ended up being quiet for 2 minutes and you just sat in silence, you might realize how much your mind speaks to you. So when we're in that element of air, and this time right now with the full moon energy, Gemini is that push and that pull. And that is seen as the twins. So you might be feeling you have an expression rising up within the truth of you, but then the mind is jumping in and trying to override that. And we are still learning about the power of how our thoughts create our future moments. So really noticing your language in the way that you're speaking to yourself during this time is going to be absolutely crucial. And how much pressure you're going to be feeling in that throat center to make something happen right now, to get out there in order to release all of that pressure. And having again to refrain and to come back into your stillness and grounding yourself to the earth, tuning into your body to see, is this my time? Or are you trying to imitate what is out in the collective? So it's going to bring us into a lot of self-awareness. The more you learn who you are, the more you're learning about how the energy is affecting you. So this is going to really teach us about how what happens in the macro, the collective world, is felt inside of you and how you are metabolizing that in your own energy. So the more you're tuning into that, the more you're going to recognize, well, what's just superficial, right? What is not true? And then by tuning into your truth, you create more self-assurance. So we're also going to have to look at, a lot of our tendencies to be lazy. And when we're lazy, that means we are aware of things that need to change in our lives, and we're aware of things that are happening out in the world, but we don't really want to do anything about it. So we are indifferent to it in its shadow aspect. And that is where we see a lot of people just turning a blind eye because it's not happening to them personally, but yet it is affecting all of us. So we want to look at our own tendencies to be lazy and to really address that. And also to remind ourselves that there are many different ways to do something. So you might be challenged where a system or a tool that you have been relying on is no longer working for you. And this becomes your opportunity then to get really creative and really selective and to see, well, what else can I do? Instead of succumbing to that energy and feeling like I am helpless, what can you do to help yourself? So you start to really focus on all of those things that you are able to do, which is going to lead you towards a greater mastery. We're also going to be really looking at our own self-indulgence. So this is where we are hungry for something, but we have too much of it. It could be overeating, over drinking, anything where you're doing something in excess of. And then really kind of finding your sweet spot in that. So it's like everything in moderation has a place. And we're here to have a sense of adventure. We're here to really taste life. But do we have to jump in and it's all or nothing? Or can we allow ourselves permission to, I'm going to try and see how it feels. I'm not going to promise, I'm not going to overcommit, I'm not going to take on too much, but I am going to allow myself to progress further in your own self-awareness and learning your own style and how you can do different things by really allowing yourself to try things that are new. We are then moving into what is called the gate of gathering together. So this is where, again, you're really being drawn to individuals that feel right with your nature. How we can come together and we can either feel really insecure when we're allowing other people to dominate over us, or when we allow ourselves to really be who we are and embrace our own unique style, we're going to have a magnetic energy that is just going to draw towards the self people that complement that. So you step into what is known as synergy, and synergy is really having teams that are coming together that are going to create some incredible things. You're almost going to kind of look at that going, I have no idea how it happened, but it just did. So trusting that the more you are in the fullness of you, the more you're willing to have an adventure, the more you're willing to try something new, the more you are self-aware to how you feel in the energy and you can assure yourself of your own truth, the more you're in your own style, in your own rhythm, and the more you're able to discriminate between what is correct and what is not, is really going to help you purify your body and your mind to then drop you into a love gate at the very end of this, which brings us into the fullness of the summer. And it's all about humanity and the love for humanity. So this is going into your auric field. It is what is surrounding you. So think of the summertime coming into bloom. Well, you have your own magnetic energy. In its shadow, it's going to be really dull. It's not going to be attracting anything substantial towards it because it's just existing in its comfort zone of life, and it's not willing to open up to other possibilities. But when you allow yourself to open and bloom and you acknowledge that I'm part of humanity, we are in this together, there's going to be such a beautiful opportunities to really step in and allow whatever is meant to be yours to come your way. But it does come with a lot of self-awareness to be feeling what's going on out there and to know you're going to be pulled in both directions like a pendulum to then find your center place right in the middle of that all.